it's Rebecca here again. I thought I would come and share with you how I make my paper roses. If you hold on a second, I better get them. In one of my previous videos I showed you my texture that my husband kindly went and got me to rip up, and I thought I would run through how I make these flowers out of the pages from the dictionary. I use Tim Holtz Distress inks, any colour you want. These, what I did to start with, I've cut out a few here that's ready to go, but basically what I've done on here is I have I think I've got 6 sheets here or something like that. Because the dictionary paper and old book paper is quite thin, you don't need, you can get off cutting more in one go. And basically what I did was I took a circular object, placed it down, drew around it 3 times, making them different sizes. So what I end up with then is a bunch of discs, and there's my circles. You can see I cut outside one, and then I cut to one, and then I cut inside another one. And I need 2 of the big size, 2 of the medium size, and 2 of the little ones. And for that it makes a flower that looks more like a carnation, I would say that's lying, when it's made up and it's quite full. But I tried as well, and you can see the difference in these two. It's more like a carnation, and this is more like a rose kind of effect, and that one's a tattered kind of rose sort of one. For these ones, all I did was, instead of having 6 layers, I made them with 1 of each. So it's like one, the big one in the middle one, and one in the little one, and I put them together. But let me run through how I do it, and it'll make sense in a minute. So I'll move these out of the way. What you do is you take and pick a colour to colour your flower. I will go, I think this time I'll use Faded G, and you don't need to worry about how you would normally use the Tim Holtz foam pads and whatnot, and in the circular motion, because basically all you want to do is get the ink onto the printed paper. So I just push it on. I'm going to try and make this one quite dark, so I'm going to put a little ink on this one. And we'll go like this. I'm trying to do this as quick as I can for you. Another thing is, these, you can get the Tim Holtz blending tool, which is this one, and I've got 3 of them or so. But as I thought, well, I would like to get 1 of each of those for each colour of ink. And I don't have all Tim Holtz inks yet. Working on that one, which my other half will be delighted to hear about. But what I did is, I asked Dad if he would mind going to his workshop, and if he had little blocks of wood. And he says, yes I do. And I says, oh well, would you mind cutting them out for me into like this block, sort of grippable blocks? And I roughly explained to him what I wanted them for. He had absolutely no idea what I was talking about at all. Came back in with these blocks of wood, and all we did was we got some of the Velcro, the rough side Velcro, stuck it onto the block, and then these stick onto that now. And I've made a lovely mess of my finger here. And it saves a lot of money, because you don't have to buy the blending tool in, you can make do with your own. I've seen other ones on YouTube, I think it was, that were using, you know, you get that like the kiddies ABC wooden blocks. I've seen people using them as well, and just putting like a side of Velcro on and attaching their foam pads, sorry, to the blocks then, and using it that way, which is quite a good idea as well. I didn't have any ABC wood blocks from my kids, so I made my dad go out to his workshop and cut them up for me. Okay, so we've done that, and we take our layers then. You go the 2 big ones together, 2 medium ones together. They don't have to be exact, the 2 medium ones in the middle, and the 2 smaller ones. I'm just going for 1 colour with these. The other flowers I've done there, you can see I've done like, they've got some orange, I think it was the wild honey I used in that one, and some vintage photo. This one is actually Barn Door and Rusty Hinge, and this one is Dusty Concord and wild honey or rusty hen for that one as well. So anyway, back to this. So I've got this one's all plain blue, I'm going for these. So the 6 layers, and you basically layer them all up and kind of centre them as best you can. Pull them all together. And then I've got one of my foam pads, pokey tool, roughly find the centre and poke through. And then I have a mixture of brads and things here to use. I'll just pick one quickly like that. Push it through the centre. Pull back your brad. Sorry, I have to remember to try and keep in the shot here. Push this down. Now this is the easy bit. All you do is take each layer individually, scrunch up into the middle into a ball, scrunch the next layer up into the middle into a ball, and so on until you get all 6 layers, or however many layers you decide to go for. Like I say, I did one that was 3 layers, just one of each different sized circle, or 6. I don't know if you would need any more than 6 because it's quite full for the 6 layers. And you can see if I got into colour the bottom of paper, that's why you colour both sides. And then all you do is start to open this out again, like this, and like this, and just till you get right back to your brad in the centre. So these come like this, keep going and keep going one more. It's like past the parcel with all the layers. And I'll open this up, and then you basically open it all out again, and then you just scrunch it up. Just let your brad show through again, scrunch it all up, scrunch and scrunch and scrunch. And then all I do, because I can't remember what the right says, but the Tim Holtz inks, as soon as you spritz them with water, it makes them bleed and they look really effective, and it just sort of dilutes the colour slightly as well. So what you can do is at this stage, if you wanted to add a bit of, like, that's all blue, but if I want to add, say, a bit of red, so this is the barn door, it picks it up quite well on the edges down, and it just gives it a nice kind of two-tone coloured flower. And you just keep covering it over like this, and it just gives it a little bit on the edges. Again, scrunch it to see that you're happy with it, and then all I do is I take one of the mini misters or whatever kind of spritz you've got, and just spritz the flower, and you'll see it all starts to bleed together, and you've got like the red tips and then the blue flower. And what I do is I had this one sitting then on the heater just to dry them quickly. They don't take long to dry at all. And the other thing I thought I would do is just show you, I'll just quickly do another one, but this time I am going to leave them, I'm just going to make this one completely papered. It's just going to be completely plain paper. I'm not going to colour them at this stage. Put these all together and take in our mat, punch a hole to the centre. It doesn't have to be exact, just a rough guide of where you're going to go to. Put in a brad into the centre, look back, there we go, and then because I've got ink on my hands, this is obviously going to pick up some colour, but what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to scrunch all this up, and I think I will just take the blending tool over the edge of the flower when I open it up, just to give it a bit of colour. Like so, and you just scrunch all these up. Oh, I'm starting with a sore throat or a cold or something's going on here. Already I'm fed up of it. So unscrunch this, unscrunch, 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 and you don't even have to fully unscrunch it because you can just leave it like that. And that is, I mean, it's looking like a flower already. I'm just going to go for barn door again. I have a limited supply of distress inks at the moment. 6, 7 I've got at the moment, but I have some more coming from a friend in America, and I'm just going to send some to me present, and I am going to go and send some of these to her, and a few other bits and bobs that I've come across for her as well. So that's quite red. I'm going to make this one actually quite red when I see it because it's taking the colour quite well. So I'll just do this, spritz it all the way around in a minute. I cut out using my decollage, and you get my decollage scissors, just so it gives it that, it's not a smooth edge that you're working with. So we'll leave that like that, and see this down here, and I'll spritz this one, and you'll see how the colour all starts to bleed in to the flower, like that, and it'll dry out quite soon. I'm just going to put a little bit more in the centre there, just to let that run a bit more into the flower. And you can still push this in, and you can still fiddle with it, because the water just makes the paper more pliable and easier to work with, like that. Now I'll take these 3 that are dried off a bit, leave these 2, but you can see, I mean, you can make these any colour you want, and you don't just have to use this dry inks, you could use any kind of ink you want. The other thing that I was going to try with them was maybe the Perfect Pearls, and make it a mist and spritz them with a mist, and I thought that would be quite effective. What else was I going to try? The other thing, I thought I could actually age this up with stickles, because they would give it a real nice sparkle as well, kind of just make it stand up off the page a bit. I don't have them with me at the moment, but what I do have, hopefully I can get this to work, I have got some of the Deco Art Glamour Dust, which is beautiful stuff, but oh my, it gets everywhere. I've got the gold, there's the crystal and the gold I have, and I think I'll try a bit of crystal. I hope this pen still works. Oh, that's just disgusting, but never mind. I'll get this going, hopefully. And all you need to do with that is just to go around the edges, and this doesn't want to work at all. Great. Not my day today. Nothing seems to work. Not a thing. Hold on, give me a second. Just grab my other glue. Right, here we go. That's just my hobby craft. It's just my glue. And that might end up a bit gloopy around the edges, but it's only little bits that we'll want to. And try this, see how it looks. You can fiddle around with loads of different mediums and different inks and chalks that would be nice on it. I think what other things I've got that I could do. I think I will try and make a mist. With it. I've got Mega Pearls and a whole lot, a few different things. Right, I'll try that. Right. And we'll go for some of the crystal. These are really tricky to open. And I don't have my I can cut it up for more flowers anyway. I'll just take this and cover it in some of the Glamour Dust. And this stuff really is super. And you can see once that glue dries, once the glue dries, that will just stand out brilliant, hopefully. And you can see the glimmer, in this shimmer in that. Okay. So that's some of the ideas there, and I'm just going to get them everywhere. Once these dry, they like you just want to heat it up just for a few minutes. Before I came on to do this, and they dried instantly. Once they are dried, there's something to ink, and they go much more. They become really sturdy when they are drying, and they're still good and they're really nice. So there you go. That's my take on paper flowers, and I've showed you what I needed a dictionary for, or an old book that I happen to get, a dictionary. I've been watching not to the pages that I might actually want to use the words for something else. So that's all for now. Thank you for watching. Speak to you later.